What's up, guys? We're gonna 𝗨𝗏𝗘𝗙𝗙. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make some emotional melodies. So we just gonna hop right into the melody. So this is the sound we're using first. It's like this little synth sound. All right. So let's grab in a scale just so we can kind of see what's going on. We're gonna do a minor. Let's do an F minor. I think that'll be good. So we can just hop in here. So to start first, we can start with either a minor, or what I like to do is start with like a suspended, because that kind of gives you a more sad vibe rather than a dark. Because if you use obviously a F minor, it's gonna sound a little bit more dark. Not necessarily, but just when you start off. So usually I would use a suspended second or fourth. So you can use something like this, and then what we're gonna do is spread this out, and then you kind of play it like an ARP. But I'm gonna switch this actually, and then you can copy this over to kind of complete the ARP like sound, and then you can just move some of these notes around. So if you want to use some of those original notes, I would even probably try something like this, and then just copy this to complete the ARP. Okay, so now we building something that's a little bit emotional. I don't want this to be like too sad though, so I'm gonna just copy this over. And what you can do here is, if you want to find some other notes, you can start to use the harmony stemming from here. So how do you do that? Is you just make a chord from this note. So it could be here, or if we return back here, you can skip this note and pull it up here. So you can kind of choose whichever one you want. Right, you can see that's super like melodic, but you could try something like this. I know I actually kind of like. All right, and then I want to try this one. And then maybe we can do something like. Okay, so that's what that's the kind of sound I'm going for. So you have to like tweak and see like what type of notes, or combination of notes that you like. But I like that. I'm gonna copy it over. And I might just copy this over through the whole thing, because I think this is a decent way to start. So let's go ahead and move on to our next instrument. Next up, we have a little synth / pad here. Okay. So with this one, we can just treat this as a counter melody. And also, if you want any of the sounds that I'm using, I will have them linked. So all you have to do is look in the description or something like that to find them. So for this one, we're just gonna steal our same melody just to make this easier. So go from we're gonna start with the suspended second, and then we're just going to pull this out like so. I think this would be a good spot. Let me see. Let me zoom in so you can see the notes. And then maybe we can just put these in this spot. Let's pull these down. Kind of like this. Now what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna spread this out, because I feel like it's too fast. So I'm gonna just spread these all out by 1 bar, just so it stretches across 8 bars. And let's see how that sounds. Okay, that's a lot better. And of course we'll add effects and stuff, so it'll kind of blend in better if we add like reverb on top. So let's go ahead and move on to our piano. All right, so we were gonna start with a piano, but I think it'll be better to start with a bass, just so we can have some lower frequencies to kind of help us build a better melody with our piano. So we're gonna be using this bass. Okay, and this should be pretty easy. It's pretty much the same notes. You can go down 5 or 4 to kind of get one of these little notes here to get a nice bass line. So we're just gonna throw that in. And obviously we would pull it down a few octaves or so. I kind of want more of a groove for this. Nah, you probably can't even see these notes. Let me make sure they're super large. There we go. Let's try pulling these down. from here, we would probably go down 5 or 4, depending on how it sounds. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we went down 4 instead of 5 this time. And I think for this one, we can keep this fairly simple. Pull that down, copy it over, and then we can make a variation. Okay, so I don't know, we could maybe do something like this, chop it up a little bit. And I'm gonna just shift D that. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, I like that. I think that's pretty cool. So now we can go ahead and add our piano. Okay. Finally, we're going to be doing the piano now. So this is what I'm using, is a preset and all that. Okay. So I'm gonna make this so easy. This is going to be incredibly easy, especially if you've never done this before. So all you need to do is throw down a fifth, and I'm going to show you all the steps in between. So we're going to start on the roots because that's what our harmony or our melody is based off of. So we're gonna start with the fifth. So we're gonna go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fill in every note in between, copy it up, and then you want to take this top note. You either go down, but since we already have this note, we're gonna go up. And now you have all the notes you need to pretty much make a nice melody. And this is it. And you just shift D this, and I don't know, you could just do something like this. Pull this down. And you can do whatever you want. I'm just doing this super fast. And you don't have to listen to it because it's a part of your harmony. Right? You can never mess up. It's impossible to mess up. You can't mess this up. And then, I don't know, we just throw these out. Oops. I told you, see, it's that simple. And then we're just gonna copy this over, and then we're gonna put a some variation. So I'm gonna just copy this over, if it'll let me. Copy this over, flip it. You can make a chord upward or downward from one of these notes. Now, based on how notes work, you can use any notes you want, because if you take this and you go backwards and you make a chord backwards this way, you can kind of use these together. But if you want to like make a chord with this, what you could do is you can go make a chord upward. So you have this going on kind of. Oops. And then you just pull this down like so. Right. And then if you want another note you can use, you know, if you want to, you can go backwards this way, but this will create tension because it's right here, right? Half steps. Right. Right, but I don't want that tension. That's kind of getting too much, so I would just leave it how it was. And if you want to, you could just pull that up. Okay, just giving you some options, but okay, I like that. I think that's good. I'm gonna play it from here once. Just pull this back. Okay, I like that rhythm. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and do our brass. All right, next up we have some brass. And it's kind of hard to hear this, but that's what it sounds like. So for this one, same thing, except now we can be a little bit more free. So I'm gonna try to zoom in here so we can see this. And what we can do is just start on the root, make our little chord. And I'm gonna pop this. And I kind of wanted to play like something like that. Let's pull this down and pull this up. offset this just a little bit. Like, you know what? That's fine the way it was. All right. And then we could do another one here, but just double it. Give a little bounce. I'm gonna offset this a little bit. So again, we're gonna cheat. We're gonna take this. I'm gonna pull these back a little bit. And we're just gonna complete this chord like so. Matter of fact, do we even need to do this? Let me see. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. And then we just take this, Shift D, and I think we're starting to get something that's nice. And let's just make our own little chord right here. And what I'm doing here is just using my ear to find the right notes by clicking them. See, super easy. It's kind of hard to hear it anyway, so that's kind of helping us. You're probably like, okay, this doesn't match up, right? Because this note, if you make a chord out of it, it doesn't match this. But remember what I told you earlier is it's all the same thing. It just goes in increments of 12. So every octave, you can kind of cheat the system and just flip the note and it'll work. So that's why any note will work. Like even if you put one here, it works down here. Because look, you see now it's a 7th chord. Right, it's that simple. Okay, so that is the brass. Took a little longer than I wanted to, but you know, it is what it is. So now what we're gonna do is add some effects real quick, and then we can add the drums. All right, so we're gonna quickly go over the effects that I added. So I didn't do much. I didn't think there was much to do. So on that synth or pad, we added Valhalla Supermassive, just a simple delay, and just kind of filled in that empty space. All right, just kind of let it linger a bit. And then on our main sound, I went ahead and just added a portal preset. Now I usually just use this preset because it turns everything into a texture. It's this one right here. So this is what it sounds like off, on. And I like this one because it let our instruments shine a lot more. So I'll play everything all together. Right, so everything kind of mixes well without actually having it mixed. Okay, just slightly. And then for the master, really I just wanted to add some texture to like give it some character. So I added Lifeline Console. You can use anything. So it's a custom preset, and it just, I don't know, it just makes everything kind of like super vintage-ish. So I'll turn all, and obviously the soft clipper is to stop it from clipping and stuff. So I'll turn this on. And then I add an EQ, right? This is a custom EQ. I just added this to clean it up a bit. Okay, pretty simple. And I usually like adding it before. You could do it after if you want, but I usually put the EQ before because I don't know, I just like the way it sounds. But yeah, that's the effects. So let's go ahead and add some drums and like make a little outro beat. All right, so now we're gonna throw on some drums. So I'm gonna make this real easy. We're just gonna go to bar on this side here. Okay, and then we can just, I don't know, we can just start with some stuff and play around with the velocity and stuff. Let me see. And I'm just kind of listening. I want the drums to play off the bass so it has bounce. And then we can mess with the panning too. can mess around with this one. Maybe add like this in there too. Now I kind of like this way. All right. And then of course we gotta mess with the velocity a bit. Okay, I think that's good. And then we just add this, pull that up. And then we just add our little kick, and I think we're good from here. And then we can offset this like that. Okay, I like that much better. All right, so I think that's it. Of course, this isn't mixed entirely, but hopefully it sounds good. So here's the whole beat. Let's play it all together. This is annoying. Let me move it out the way. All right. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.